Good evening, and it's great to have you with us to start another week together. It's been a remarkable thing that we have all witnessed together in this country just over the weekend, just today, in fact, a reset of American life. Trying to get groceries with empty shelves, trying to find children childcare. How will parents manage these weeks ahead without school? Not to mention the ongoing struggle for those who fear they have coronavirus. Where and how do they get tested, even amid promises that the testing will now be more readily available? Are the hospitals ready? We're going to get to all of it tonight, and this evening, more than 4,200 cases that we know of, at least 82 deaths. Late today, we all watched as President Trump issued new nationwide guidelines for Americans across this country, acknowledging the outbreak, that this virus is not under control, saying it may take until July or August for it to, in his words, wash through the country, telling Americans to avoid groups larger than 10, do not go to restaurants and bars. At least 35 states closing schools for nearly 36 million students. New York City among the latest, sending more than 1 million students home. Governors and mayors shutting down restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, and late today drastic steps in several hotspots. Among them in California, 7 Bay Area counties, that includes San Francisco, ordering nearly 7 million people to shelter in place at home for at least 3 weeks. We have all been to the grocery store. We've seen the shelves, empty shelves, in fact, and this line wrapping around a Costco in the Los Angeles area just before dawn this morning. And in so many stores across this country, it's been stripped clean. The Hy-Vee supermarket, this is Omaha, Nebraska. And at airports over the weekend, we all witnessed this. Americans returning home from overseas. They ended up standing in lines so crowded, so close to one another, some for hours at medical checkpoints. Tonight, here, the stock market, the emergency trigger kicking in yet again today to halt the market shortly after it opened, even after the Fed took extraordinary action. And tonight, right here, the video messages from those with coronavirus, including a famous actor and an NBA player. Their descriptions were eye-opening today. ABC's Whit Johnson leads us off right here in New York City tonight.
Tonight, with daily life grinding to a halt across America, the White House announcing drastic steps, part of a 15-day plan to slow the spread.
We'd much rather be ahead of the curve than behind it.
President Trump's coronavirus task force now urging people to avoid gatherings of 10 or more people, discretionary travel, encouraging older people and those with underlying conditions to stay home. The administration also telling people not to visit nursing homes and recommending bars and restaurants close in states with community spread.
If everyone makes this change or these critical changes and sacrifices now, we will rally together as one nation and we will defeat the virus.
You're not saying it's under control, right?
I'm not referring to it, meaning if you're talking about the virus, no, that's not under control for any place in the world.
The president now warning the crisis could stretch deep into the summer.
People are talking about July, August, something like that. So it could be right in that period of time where it washes through. Other people don't like that term, but where it washes through.
But today, a major step toward a possible vaccine.
The trial is taking place in Seattle. There will be 2 injections, one at 0 day, first one, then 28 days. There will be 3 separate doses.
Volunteer Jennifer Haller getting the first injection in Seattle as part of that clinical trial.
Everybody's feeling so helpless right now, and I realized that there was something that I could do to help.
The vaccine's still not expected to be available to the public for at least a year. Tonight, with the cases across the country climbing, more than a dozen states already closing bars and restaurants except for takeout and delivery, including New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey, who will also shut down gyms, movie theaters, and casinos starting tonight.
This is a national problem. It cannot be done in a piecemeal method.
In the San Francisco Bay Area, a sweeping shelter-in-place order for nearly 7 million people. Residents told to only leave their homes for food, medicine, and exercise. California's governor is urging home isolation for all adults over the age of 65.
Most important thing, again, is to protect the most vulnerable.
Nationwide, at least 35 states closing public schools, forcing more than 35 million kids to stay home.
Creates a lot of hardship for people, but it's the right choice.
In Boston, volunteers boxing up homework to deliver to students at home. And with so many American children without access to school meals, communities from Pennsylvania to Texas stepping up to make sure families have the supplies they need.
Trying to stay positive in a bad situation, so that's it.
Long lines at Costco's from Illinois to Los Angeles.
And thousands of people are rushing to trying to get into the Costco here in this.
Lines snaking around the building before dawn. Stores across the country running out of basic items like toilet paper and water. The Stop and Shop grocery chain announcing new early shopping hours for customers 60 and over. At U.S. airports, chaos as Americans rush home after travel bans on European countries. Passengers waiting hours, shoulder to shoulder, for medical screenings.
I definitely felt unsafe. If the government's telling me to stay in groups of less than 50 and keep social distancing, that was the opposite.
But departures areas around the country eerily empty.
But look at this. There's just nobody here at the airport.
And Whit Johnson back with us to lead us off again tonight. And with the president and these new guidelines late today, Dr. Fauci then said that this is guidance for the next 15 days in this country, that the White House and the president's team would then reassess. And the president was also asked today if he was considering a nationwide lockdown, a nationwide quarantine.
And David, today President Trump made clear at this point they are not looking at a nationwide quarantine, but he did say that they are evaluating so-called hotspots. Those are hard-hit areas across the country to see if any additional restrictions could be required. David.
All right, Whit Johnson tonight. Whit, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.